Salut Silvio.
Hello, hello.
Bon, attends, je vais essayer de. Comment on fait ça déjà? Ah non, je peux pas avec la version web. C'est pas grave. On verra le fond chez moi. C'est pas grave.
Faut parler en anglais parce que j'ai
Oui.
tout configuré pour une langue source anglaise.
Écoute.
Et là, les sous-titres, ça va être n'importe quoi. Le bobot est déjà branché là.
Ok. Oui, en effet, on le voit. D'ailleurs, c'est marrant, il s'incruste sur la vidéo en fait. Il y a le petit logo bot à côté de mon truc, mais c'est pas un carré à part en fait.
Dans le web.
Ouais. Parce que du coup, je me suis connecté avec mon compte Arcadin quand même. Compliance recording.
Ah, pas moi.
C'est qui ce bonhomme bleu?
Hmm. Hmm.
Salut Silvio, ouais,
Hello.
je crois que je t'ai eu ce matin.
Salut Nadia.
Sûr. Ouais.
Comment ça va-t-il bien?
Ouais, ça va. Je suis pas venue au bureau, là, j'avais trop de trucs. Et j'ai bien fait, mais j'ai tellement bien fait. C'est-à-dire qu'à 13h15, l'école m'a appelé. Oui, votre fille, elle a 38, elle tousse, faut venir la chercher, c'est le
Ah
protocole.
merde.
Putain, j'ai cru que j'allais les tuer, je suis allée la chercher. Heureusement, j'ai une super nounou qui me l'a prise. Putain, la nounou, elle prend la température, elle m'envoie un SMS, elle me dit, elle a 37,3.
D'accord, ok.
Et moi, je sens clairement que là, les écoles, ils sont en mode, dès que, enfin, tu vois, ce que j'ai appelé le médecin, je lui dis, elle tousse, mais elle tousse, elle est malade, c'est l'hiver, quoi. Mais au
Ouais,
moins, le truc, ils les foutent dehors, quoi.
ouais.
Comme si on n'avait pas de taf, tu vois. C'est, oh là 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 là. Ah, je suis énervée, là, je suis désolée, je suis en colère. Je vous jure. Terrible. Hey, Scott.
Hello Scott.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
How are you?
Hey, Scott.
Good,
I'm
thanks.
upset.
Sorry?
I am upset.
Why? Because you haven't done the reporting for events yet?
I am upset with schools. You know, when your children has a little bit, an issue of season issue, they just call you and say you need to come and get your child, because it's just like I'm working, guys. It's just like I can just come and that's it. It's crazy. Sarah, hello.
Hello, Sarah.
I'm complaining about schools.
Hey, guys.
Nadia's complaining about not having the event Power BI report up and going, Sarah.
Well, I mean,
I know.
she should be. She
I
should
can't
be.
hear you. I can't hear you.
Priorities, okay? Priorities.
Okay, who are we waiting?
JT?
JT, yeah. I think it's JT.
Sarah, just ping you before, just to know, virtual events. It's logged, as a PI project. When do you see it finish on your side?
When do I see what finish? I'm not following.
It's a PI3 project, virtual events. Just was curious.
Oh, the GA project? Or
Yeah.
the virtual events GA? Yeah, I think Fabienne finally got everyone's sign off, so it should be considered complete. I have to validate with her to make sure that there isn't anybody else missing, but I think she got sign off from each region from what I've seen. So
cool.
We should be good there. Yeah.
Thank you.
We lost Scott. I don't see Scott in the list anymore. Do you still see Scott in the meeting? No.
No, he isn't. He was bored. He went away.
Okay, let me check with him.
So for you guys who know what it is about, I'm already webcasting to YouTube and Facebook. So be careful for what you say right now.
We just shared confidential information about virtual events, Silvio.
No, the funny thing is that we started the meeting in French, and right now the subtitles are activated for English source and French target. So what we have said in French, the translator wants to translate it from English. So the first few minutes of the meeting, you will see subtitles with rubbish, only rubbish.
Okay, I don't know if I sent him a message. He saw it, but didn't reply yet. So and JT didn't reply to the meeting invite, so I don't know if he will join or not.
Well, JT, he knows about it.
Yeah, he knows pretty well. So I think it's mostly Scott. Oh yeah, Scott is there.
Sorry, guys. We lost internet at the office.
Okay.
On the phone.
Whoa. But,
and you missed
Really?
the part when I was talking about the dashboard. Too bad.
So is that, sorry, did you mention you completed the dashboard, or is that what I missed?
No, you don't want to hear that.
Okay, cool. Maybe we can start here, Silvio, if you want to present the.
Sure. Just one thing, Scott. We are seeing like weird stuff. Okay, it's better. Okay. Yeah. So thanks for joining. Welcome to this meeting. So as you have guessed already, I will be talking about live event, and I will be presenting a proof of concept. But before, some slides, a few slides, a bit boring but necessary. It will be quick, I promise. So first of all, you've already heard me say live event. I could have said webcast or live streaming or whatever. It's all based on the same technology. And I will be presenting a very short slide on how live events or live streaming, if you prefer, work. But first of all, let's take a short look into the existing solutions on the market right now. So on the left side, you have the products that are more or less professional, and on the right side, you have the, well, like more public available solutions. Most of them you already know. Maybe you don't know that Twitter and LinkedIn are can do live events. I was astonished about that. They have this feature also. And in this proof of concept, I will be using Microsoft Teams, YouTube, and Facebook. Here, a very short diagram on how live events work and what it is about, and some terminology. So very easy. On the left side, you have what is called the producers. Right now, we are the producers, or I am the producer. And on the right side, you have the audience, which are the consumers. A live event is what I call half duplex, meaning that the producer produces audio and video, and the audience consumes it, but the audience doesn't produce any video, any audio. It's one way. And in return, the audience can ask questions through chat, which is half duplex also, because only the audience can ask questions, and then the producers, they respond through their voice. When we attend the quarterly presentations of Mark Alexander, well, this is a live event, right? So in the end, we ask questions, and he responds to these questions. In these quarterly events, we also have not only one producer, we have several producers, but they always talk alone. They're not in a meeting, they're on a single stream. So when one talks, it switches to his stream, and then when the other talks, it gets to the other stream. What is also to mention is that live events are not really real time. They're not what I call perfect real time. What do I mean by that? Is that when you are on a live meeting, when you're attending a live meeting, what you hear has already been said like 30 to 40 minutes before. When Mark Alexander says something, it has already been said 40 seconds, something like that before. But it doesn't really matter because the audience isn't aware of that. You're just looking at a stream. It's like a video that has some delay, but you don't know about that, and you don't really care. Why aren't live events not in real time? Well, the reason is simply technical. It's because you have to assume that your audience could be very, very big, like hundreds and thousands of people. So this would be very, very stressful for the broadcasting platforms. And so they delay, they create a buffer. And so they have the time to accommodate every consumer in the audience. And you get better quality out of that also. If you have any questions, please feel free.
I suppose and maybe I haven't been a part of this, but I'm kind of confused about what this is about.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm coming to that. Why am I talking about live events?
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's exactly what's the title of the next slide. Why this talk? So what I wanted to present you guys is that we could use live events and create new features around live events using the existing solutions that are on the market without reinventing the wheel. So the features we could add to these live events that we all know of is like, I talked a little bit of that at the beginning, is why wouldn't we create live events and having a meeting like this one as a source instead of just one producer or several producers, but individual producers. But the idea would be, okay, let's cast this meeting right now to a live event so people can follow our meeting. But we could also add another feature, which would be like doing subtitles, translated or not, using services like Google Speech to Text, Amazon, or Microsoft. So, and there's an interesting thing here is that as live events are not, as I said, perfect real time, we can use these services which are not perfect real time either. It takes some time to transcribe audio into text. So we take advantage of the delay, these famous 30 to 40 seconds delay in live events. And so we can subtitle the videos and bring real-time subtitles to the audience. And the third feature would be, okay, let's broadcast this live event to multiple platforms such as YouTube, Facebook, or others. And in this proof of concept, we will be using YouTube and Facebook. And there we come to the proof of concept itself. I'm going to send you 2 links in the chat. Okay, if you click on those links, the first one is YouTube, the second one is Facebook. It will open up 2 web browsers, and one will be YouTube, the other one will be Facebook. And you should see my face and me talking. So what I want you to do, guys, is to mute YouTube and Facebook, because if you don't, you will hear me twice or 3 times. Just tell me as soon as you're okay. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm on the YouTube one. I can see you there.
Yeah, me too. With transcript in English.
Yes. And so you should see on YouTube. You should see English subtitles, and in Facebook you should see French subtitles.
I will move to Facebook then.
you can use both. Actually, you can open both simultaneously. There's no problem. Just don't forget to mute yourself. Well, to mute Facebook or YouTube. If you don't, it doesn't matter, but it will be very, very confusing. And as I said, what you are watching right now in Facebook or in YouTube, it's like 30 to 45 seconds old. So what you're reading, subtitles we are reading, I've said that like 45 seconds ago.
Okay. So why are we doing this? Like, why are we doing the POC? Like, what? I'm still trying to understand why would we want to bring this to market?
And kind of how, yeah, because I think the thing is, Silvio, is how does this differentiate from what we already have in our product portfolio for digital events? I think this is something similar to what you demoed for Ryan and I a few months back, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Right. And I think with that, that was some of our thoughts were, we need to kind of say, like, what are you doing here from a technology perspective, and how will this differ from what we already have with Intrado or webinar.net or the other providers? Like, is there a gap we're trying to fill with this that you have in mind?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, my role is purely technical. I'm showing to you guys what is feasible with Teams or with any other platform, and what we could add, the features we could add to the existing features, like real-time translation, subtitling, broadcasting to Twitter, Facebook, to any of those platforms. Now,
so the idea would be a customer wants to use Teams and taking a Teams meeting and streaming it out to Facebook and YouTube, and doing translation that way. That's what you're just.
Yeah, that's it's only to bring you the technical possibilities there are. We could do it the other way around too. You could do live events in YouTube and broadcast it to Teams event. That's possible too. Both ways are possible.
First, Sarah, one question for me. I mean, my understanding was that for our current providers, there is not this feature of subtitling and or not translating into any language what is said in the webcast. So that's my first question. Is it a feature they have now? Like on Intrado, you're like, okay, we're gonna make an event. People will gonna speak French, English, for example, and I have an audience in Japan, and I want them to have Japanese subtitles. Is it a feature they have?
Yeah, subtitling is there. Like, live translation is probably still a gap where, like, Intrado has to look out for. We have to go out to, like, people like Interprify, or they bring in third-party providers like that. But standard translation, they do have that.
What do you mean?
As far as written translation, like what subtitles?
Okay, so they have it.
But live translation, so actually doing a live transcription, is something that's a little bit different. And I know that there's always been, some back and forth around, like, the actual quality of the translation, right? Some technologies are better than others as far as how close it gets to actually doing the translation. So I don't know, Silvio, what you're using on the back end for this, but yes. Is that the thought that, like, that's the specific use case is bringing translation services into the streaming providers, either that we use or that are out there?
Yeah, exactly. In this proof of concept, I'm using Cognitive Services of Microsoft, but my proof of concept also works with Amazon Transcribe and Google Speech to Text. So you could use any of these providers, and actually you could use any provider at all as long as they have an API. So you could imagine, like, okay, let's say Amazon is better with German than Google, and Microsoft is better with Japanese, whatever. So you could, according to the language you choose, the source language and the target language, you could choose one of these services, different services.
What we wanted to demonstrate with this POC is that first that we can, during an event, do live transcription and translation to any language possible.
And from any language.
Yeah, from any language to any language. So that's the first thing. The second one is that we are able to broadcast using any other broadcasting platform. So here, Facebook, YouTube, etc. And the third thing that we added now, compared to the demo we made to you last autumn, is that now we are able to do this with a source being a Teams meeting. Okay, because I don't know if you remember the demo we did last time. We had to go into a PECSIP conference. Okay, now because we did another POC on some other topics, we developed a bot that integrates into MS Teams, and that's why you see the small logo there with the 2 dots and the, I don't know how to, kind of brackets, not really brackets, but that mean that we've developed this bot that integrates into a Teams meeting, and that's able to retrieve the audio, the video, the sharing, etc. So that's the third thing we can demonstrate here. So saying that technically we can do that. After, yes, need your inputs on, is it something that will bring value to what we can propose to our customers? So that's the topic.
I have absolutely no idea, Cedric, and it's the number one question. You know, I've got no feeling today as to whether, because I can't imagine, you know, this meeting, there's no way we would hold these meetings and stream it out to YouTube. You know, this is an internal. Why would we ever give an audience access to this meetings and stream it? So, and then it's really, if somebody's going to hold an event, I mean, really, the reality is today, if somebody's going to hold an event in Microsoft Teams, and it's something that content and discussion can be seen by attendees external from the company, then this is where it could probably add value. But, you know, if I'm not mistaken, Sarah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but, you know, even in Trado and I believe webinar.net, there's a way to stream that out to YouTube and Facebook.
Yeah.
So it comes down to whether you have a Blue Jeans meeting, a Microsoft Live meeting, and whether that capability of being able to have that event and also stream it out to a broader audience or a platform is going to be a need in the market. And I just don't have the answer to that question.
Okay. And you know, the main point was mostly the transcription and translation. Like, you have an event and we can bring this on the event, and when we started to work on this, we had the feeling that our providers were not having this feature in their feature list. So,
but did you do this because we were losing a substantial amount of business in the marketplace and not winning deals because that feature was not available, or
No.
was it just the sales organization complaining because they wanted a feature?
It's none of these.
It's more an innovation, you know, workflow. So we wanted to leverage, and it is what we discussed 1 year ago with Fiona, the PECSIP technology. Okay, so basically we went into some research on how can we provide value to the service, but without knowing the market, Scott, on PECSIP technology. And with the other topics, we were working in parallel about live transcript, translation, chat lingual, and the bot, you know, we finally were able to deliver those kind of services. but we absolutely were not able to work on the business case and market research.
Yeah. Okay. So if let me just ask a question. So for translation, if I'm doing a webcast and it's in English, and I've got attendees around the world that wanted to see subtitles in different languages, how would this work? Would the subtitles be embedded in the